Hi, friends and fellow Africans. You are most welcome at this moment to share our discussion about how Africa we can feed ourselves. I have tried to move around some places in Africa and to see some opportunities that are found in our continent. And I found a virgin land, fertile land, where we as African we can grow crops to make sure that we feed our people, and so as also we can export other crops to other continents. But what is amazing, we Africans, we are not doing that. Still, Africa, uh, we are importing food from outside of our continent. So, fellow Africans, I know that Africa needs to develop in many sectors of society, such as industry, education, healthcare, social and other services, infrastructure and trade, as well as agriculture, pastoralism, and fisheries. Africa can feed itself. Yes, there's no doubt that Africa can feed itself, and at the same time, Africa can preserve the environment and the natural resources. What is happening in Africa? If we want to establish a big project about agriculture, these environmental institute came to us and told us that if you want to establish this big project, you are going to distract the environment. But they forget that themselves they are using maybe nuclear chemical to distract environment. But we as African, if we want to feed ourselves, some people say no, you cannot do that because this can distract the environment, or this is going to distract the environment or natural resource, something like that. But it is a time now for Africa to decide to do things for our benefit. We are listening outside for too long. Let us leave them and do what we are supposed to do for Africans. To make sure that Africa will feed ourselves, it happen if there is the need to take action, and the new policy and the proper political framework should be created. Strengthening of social movement, especially in farmers union, technical training in sustainable farming technique, and more research, better infrastructure, so as to make sure that we have a good infrastructure for food production. Also, a strengthening of local and the national market, protection from dumping and cheap imports. This what we call cheap import is killing our agriculture. We have seen we have importing plastic rice, while in Africa we have a good place to produce rice. Go around the continent in Africa, everywhere you can grow rice. We have a lot of rivers, we have lakes, we have rain throughout the year, but still we are hitting plastic material because of this what we call dumping and cheap imports. Let us define our things for our benefit, and more and better support for agriculture. Also, hunger and poverty are the first of all political issues related to political and economic power. There is no technical measure that can eradicate hunger and poverty on their own. African countries need policy space to define their own development policies according to their special need and wishes. African countries have to have the right to use the same means to develop their societies as rich countries done or used. Food production for domestic consumption should be the priority in agriculture policies, while production for export should be merely be additional. African countries need to have the right to take the necessary measure to be able to produce healthy and sufficient food for their own population. International trade rules have to respect that and to make international trade fair without the possibilities for the rich countries to use any kind of export subsidies and dumping to destroy our national markets or to violate international markets. The right to food is a human right. Human rights have to be the base for the development, and all development should have a right-based approach. So, fellow Africans, as you see in this video, are trying to move around some places and to take the view to show you that how this is a small part somewhere in Africa. I'm not talking about this what we call imaginary border. If we want Africa to unite, we don't need to specify the country. We are saying Africa because we want a united Africa. This is Africa. So if you want to invest in Africa, come, fellow diasporas, and invest in Africa. If you invest in Africa, you will make more profit. Also, we provide employment to our brothers and young Africans who are suffering from employment. So if you look at this landscape, in this place you can grow anything, because these are virgin land and fertile land. And this land, there's some place where are not already touched by anybody in terms of agriculture or in terms of food production. So we have a chance to do so. We have a chance to make sure that Africa, we feed ourselves. Also, we can export to other society if we want to do so. But first of our primary our primary goal is to make sure that we feed ourselves. I remember when Thomas Sankara came to power, he said that those who give you food control you. So if we allow the people to give us the food, automatically they will control us, because we don't have a food to eat. So if you have hunger, it means we will be controlled. So, fellow Africans, let us take the action from now, especially those who have the time and money to invest in Africa, especially the diaspora. I know you have opportunities to do so. Even those who are born in Africa, we must invest in agriculture to make sure that we feed ourselves. If we feed ourselves, this kind of problem that we see in Africa will be reduced, because we have enough food to make sure that we can feed our people. Fellow Africans, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and give your opinion. Also share our videos. Thank you.